Right now, we are here at Surrey, BC, Holland Park. आप देख रहे हैं ख़वातीन हज़रात इस वक्त हम कैंडल लाइट विजल होना है उससे पहले एक तकरीब है जिसमें डिफरेंट लोग स्पीचेस कर रहे हैं और हम हैं लाइव इस वक्त कनाडा से ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया का शहर है सिटी है सरी बीसी और यहाँ से कम्युनिटी ने मिलके इसको एक कैंडल लाइट विजल का एहतमाम किया है और आप देख सकते हैं कि कम्युनिटी इसमें बड़ी तादाद में शरीक है और बहुत सारी दूसरी कम्युनिटीज़ इसमें मुस्लिम क्रिश्चियन सिख हिंदूज़ तमाम गर्ज़ के हर तरह के लोग इसमें शामिल हैं और यू कैन सी कि इस वक्त किस तरह की सिचुएशन है तो ये इस वक्त यूट्यूब पे जा रहा है
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here for support of a Muslim family. The family was related to me through my in-laws.
मन दास्ते में कैसी है आवाज़ अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैरीन ये ठीक है मैरीन है जी मैरीन
नहीं मैं बोलूँगी कुछ नहीं मैं आपको
ओके
सलाम करने आई थी
थैंक यू सो मच थैंक यू अस्सलाम वालेकुम
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Culture.
This is the first time I'm
इस
meeting
वक्त
you. I wouldn't even know it.
कम्युनिटी इज़ बिहाइंड ऑल हियर आप देख सकते हैं कि इस वक्त
This is the family who likes to
पूरा
work in the community. They don't deserve it, and nobody deserves all this. None of us deserve this. So, thank you so much for being here, and we are all standing here for solidarity. I'm going to invite three amazing individuals. So first of all, I'm going to call Kabir Qurban to come and share his story with us.
I hope nobody minds that I grab this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू
Sorry, I'm going to start again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम
Thank you so much. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I wanted to start off by telling you my story. They asked me, Kabir, could you share a story from your past about Islamophobia where you got offended or someone said something to you? And this is not my story. This is not a specific story that only I face. And I'd like to put it out there that I am lucky enough to be a privileged male, an able-bodied male, that a lot of times the people who are dissatisfied with my existence, they won't approach me because they know I'm capable of standing up. But I fear for my sisters, my visible sisters who wear the hijabs and they go in the streets, to the times where I get told to go back home. I wonder, where do you want me to go? As a person born in Kazakhstan, a person from East Turkestan, a person who can't go back home because he is Uyghur, because his family is locked up for their identity. You see, this is a very loaded question when you ask me to go back home. Most of my life I was in Canada, so do you want me to leave my body parts here and go leave other things everywhere? No, the reality is that it's a much deeper question. And it's not even a question that they're asking, it's more of a statement that they're just trying to put in your face. And what can we do? You see, I don't like to put people down and tell people stories about how I've been hurt or how I've been offended. I want to uplift people. As much as it is a sad situation what happened in London, Ontario, we are here together gathered. That family is a family of martyrs. This is God's plan, Allah's plan. You see, it hurts me to talk about the fact that a individual decided that he has the power, the autonomy to take a family out. It hurts me to say that, but beyond that is the greatness of Allah. The fact that we are all gathered here today, praying for that family. May Allah give them Jannatul Firdaus. I wanted to give 3 pieces of advice, and it comes very close to learning, leading, and inspiring. I think it's important for us to learn, to educate ourselves. Because to make any change, we need to understand the factors that are in play. Why is it that they are after us as Muslims? Is it because they're afraid of our existence? Is it because we have ideas? It's just because they don't understand us. They don't know about us. So education is at the root of it. We as Muslims, we need to educate ourselves so we can be stewards in the society. So when people approach us and they ask us questions about why is it that this or why is it that we were ready. We don't want to be the ones who are silent, or the ones who are just allowing people to step all over us for too long, for way too long. Educate ourselves. We need, as brothers, as a Muslim man, I need to understand that I may not be the most affected by Islamophobia. It is the Muslim sisters that are most at risk here. And as a brother, and me trying to preach to all the brothers here, we need to stand up. We need to do what we can to support our sisters in the community. We need not to silence their voice anymore. We need to use their voice, as they are the front line of Islam at the moment. You see, a lot of us, if I did this, who would know if I am Muslim? On the streets. You see, our sisters with the hijabs, they don't have that privilege. So as brothers in the community, we need to do our part to be in solidarity with the people that follow the same religion. It's not even beyond that. We need to be supportive of our sisters. And beyond that, after education, after you learn, and after you taught yourself of the factors of what's in play here, the fact that in Quebec they're trying to start a movement on silencing us, where they're trying to prevent sisters wearing hijabs at the workplace. You see, this is not a new thinking. This is not a new ideology. It's been perpetuating in France and many places in Europe. You see, if we don't stand up here, what will happen to people across the world? We think that we are separated from the greater world, but no, we are one. So education is key. Learn what happens. How are these policies being made? Work in organizations that are trying to make possible change. Step 2, this is an important one, is dialogue. Dialogue is key. Learn. Once you learn and you educate yourself, you go and you talk to people about it. Talk to your brother. Talk to your cousin. Talk to your uncle. Because when you talk to people about the knowledge that you recently gained, you not only solidify the knowledge that you have, but you pass it on. And through passing on this knowledge, we can create allies. We can create allyship. And look around you right now, my dear respected brothers and sisters, in Islam and outside of Islam. Thank you to the Sikh community that made it out here. Thank you to the Christian community that made it out here. As an Uyghur individual, my indigeneity is very close to home, and a lot of the oppression that's happening to the Uyghur people is very similar to what happened to the indigenous people on the land, the unceded land that I am on. And I want to make that clear, but by unceded, I don't mean that nobody has ever sat on this land. It means that it was never given up, dear respected brothers and sisters. Unceded means that they never surrendered, that there is a constant battle, that this is their land still. The indigenous people of Canada, the Coast Salish people that we are standing on their land right now, we need to be aware of this. And only through dialogue and allyship can we get through this. And we need to realize that it's not an us versus them. It's not a Muslim against the white man. It has always been, and around the world you will see this, the oppressor versus the oppressed. The oppressor versus the oppressed. Whether it be the farmers in India, the Uyghurs in China, the Palestinians and the Zionists. Be it with the global economy and the Yemenis. It is always the oppressor versus the oppressed. And one thing I want to say, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, be afraid of the prayers of the oppressed. So don't hold that lightly. Pray, and with intent. Make sure that when you're praying, you're not just loosely throwing words out of your mouth. Have intent. Ask God. Ask Him sincerely. The final step. And only through education and dialogue can we go through the final step. And that is action.